But yeah, you will never ever get this dark purple, fully linear reproduction of sound through a transducer. Like, never. So here's a simple transducer. It's a Dyn Audio D76AF. And here's a measurement microphone. We're about 12, maybe 10 inches away, and that's pretty close range. You can see it's band passing naturally. I'm not using any filters because it's the mass of the soft dome can't replicate these high frequencies or these low frequencies. And now you can see this phase information is showing up here between the 250 and 1K. It is on its own trajectory, starting from about 0 and going up to 70, 80, 100 until it's fully out of phase by the time it's reaching this lower region of its bandpass. And here we have some linear phase staying at roughly 0, plus or minus 20 or 30. It's quite linear here, and then here it starts going down to minus 30 and staying there. Now this is not linear phase from a transducer. This is irregular phase. So this is the kind of things that can be corrected in FIR filters. So sure, you could call this in time, but as soon as you start to blend it with another speaker which you think is in time, it's going to be 180 degrees out of phase and cancel. So even before you introduce crossovers and a proper system design, you're going to have phase errors. And just this tiny little drift here, that can sound wonky against another speaker which is plus 30. That's like 60 degrees out of phase already. And it ruins your sense or feeling when you're referencing the left against right. Because no one can hear phase in one speaker, but you can hear the difference in phase in two speakers. It affects your perception of a sound field or a stage. Let's capture that one. Now, it's obvious if you move things further away, and here you have another reflective surface. You still have a direct line to the microphone, and as you can see, reflections start to get wonky and they start to play into the data that starts to go missing. So having more microphones in slightly different positions, so one above it, one behind it, one below it, you can get a different readout of this anomaly in this region. Now, as you can see, if I turn off this auto timing and then try to realign this one to the original, you can see there's a big difference here now appearing in this 500 range. There's this divergence here from the reflection of my other leg, and that's in going from 1K, and then it dips below, and then it goes above, dips below, and just starts to drift off there. So we'll capture that one. Now if we try an off-axis situation, I'll just pop it up here on the desk, microphone's down here, so this is almost 90 degrees off-axis. Now I'll start to adjust. So we can line up some parts, and if you're using an impulse, you might get this bulk of information from the things you're trying to line up together, but then other stuff will start to go out. I'll just turn this up. Just increase the average time, a couple of seconds, so it's a bit stiller. As you can see, there's a 180 degree phase flip here in the 8K. So the acoustic environment is playing a role, but the speaker itself was never linear. That's the important part to make note of. Capture that one. Now I'll put the tip of the measurement microphone basically on the driver, and I'll just try and balance everything while I'm doing this. That's it. That's a couple of inches. Hopefully it doesn't fall off. Right, a couple of inches. Get the relative timing back. And stop it right there. So here we have a lot of phase agreement coming in this area, and then we have drifting up and way back down. So this green line, microphone at a couple of inches, non-linear phase transducers. They exist. Most transducers will have some degree of non-linearity, but yeah, you will never ever get this dark purple fully linear reproduction of sound through a transducer. Like, never.